What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Drivers Edition. Today we're going to talk about the first day of Crown Rally. It was a great adventure, it was a great trip, and I want to talk to you about all the things I experienced on day one. So let's get into it. Now, starting out when we first arrived, we had to register. That's as part of the formalities, filling out the paperwork, signing all the waivers, pretty much saying that we are responsible for our own actions, whatever we do while on this trip. We are liable and responsible for what we do. And that's completely understandable. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. But once we got through the gates, pulled the car in, got Zeus parked, the first thing I had to do was go out and start greeting people. But I really went out and started shaking the hand of several YouTubers I recognized and knew prior to the event. Had a short conversation with them, and then I moved on to actually getting out, looking at the cars, socializing with some new people that I would be actually experiencing this rally with. I knew two people prior to the event, so I sought them out and went over and started having a conversation with them. Let them know I was ready for the rally, couldn't wait, got introduced to several other people, and just like that, you start to form, I say, friendships or cliques that's going to ride together during the event. Now, at the same time while I was out walking around, socializing, shooting some video footage for you guys, I also stumbled across a couple people that recognized me from the channel. Had short conversations with them, thanked them for being subscribers and following the channel, took several pictures, and I even took a picture with a gentleman that actually supported the channel by buying some merchandise and was representing his merchandise because he heard I was leaving for the Crown Rally event and he came down to show some support. Now that's what I talk about as love, so I really appreciated that. Appreciated that. But moving on, like I said, this event was amazing. So I got to see some very interesting cars, a couple cars I really truly desired, met with some owners, heard some stories, some horror stories and so forth, however you want to call it. But I actually had a very interesting encounter with, I would say, 70% of the people on the trip. I didn't get a chance to meet everybody, but I did meet a lot of people and I made some new friends, which we are going to keep in contact going forward. But just like that, from all the socializing and gathering, it's time for the rally to launch. And when the rally launched, all I can sit there and say is Crown Rally is definitely an experience, and they did something I would call the most boss sugar honey iced tea I've experienced ever. They got the Illinois State Police and the Chicago Police and the Evanston Police and Naperville and so forth, the Sheriff's Department, they got them to shut down Lakeshore Drive and the expressway. And I say this is some boss sugar honey iced tea because, as you see, they are not letting anybody on the expressway while we were driving past. So all you got to see was a line of supercars, exotic cars, high performance cars taking over the expressway, and all you can do is an on-steer or somebody trying to enter the ramp is watch. And that to me was next level. And we had that escort all the way until we hit the Indiana border. And once we got in Indiana, it was pretty much on. We headed out to the lunch destination. Now, I did have to stop and get some gas and let my co-pilot use the bathroom. That's a whole nother story. But we did end up taking the highway most of the way, then hit a couple nice back roads to get to the lunch spot. When we got to the lunch destination, it was actually quite different than what I expected. So what I learned real quick is I was expecting, which may be unrealistic, and I just want to clear this up, I was expecting us to probably arrive or congregate around the lunch area until we almost had every car show up. But what actually ends up happening is that because on the route, many people stop for gas, bathroom breaks, traffic gets you, things of that nature, what ends up happening is we almost come in small groups, or as they say, packs, of anywhere from 6 to 12 cars. And so you would have 2 or 3 packs show up at a time. We come in, we eat, we socialize for a minute, and then once people get that recharge, you see a pack of cars leave out and more cars coming in, and that becomes the rotation. So that was the experience. So when we left from the lunch destination, we had to stop and get gas. It was a very interesting sight because all of a sudden you see 12 cars with livery show up, and people at the gas station are looking like, what's going on? Photos are being snapped and so forth, and you see exotic cars, supercars, and so forth. And it's just ultimately not an experience that they usually see in this part of the town or the area that we're in. But once we got down to Phillip, we headed right back out, hit the expressway, head to Louisville, and then this is kind of that moment that if you followed me on Instagram, you've seen some of the highlights of this. Police came to get us.
Police pulled us all over.
Yes, the state troopers pulled us over, and the question I kept getting asked is, how do they pull over 12 supercars at one time? Like, how do they just pull over 12 people at one time? And I tell you how they do it. They do it very smartly and very strategically. Pretty much they didn't pull us over. They drove past us, blocked off a semi-truck, and when the semi-truck slowed down traffic, then they pulled us over.
When the police pull you all over as a group, What's happening?
I'll take you. They don't just pull over 12 supercars in a row. What they pretty much do is they break the momentum of traffic and then guide you out. And that's what happened. Now, no one got a ticket because truthfully, we were not acting a fool on the expressway. We were not traveling at super high speeds. Ultimately, what we got pulled over for was because of our gas brake. When we got back on the expressway, like I told you, usually travel in packs of 6 to 12 cars. We ended up turning our small pack into a large group, and we were about almost 40 cars deep. And from the complaints or the disruption that we were pulled over for, we were told that we were pretty much taking over the passing lane and wouldn't let anybody else merge. So ultimately they pulled us over to break us up. And that was cool. Nobody got tickets. They just talked to us for a few minutes, slowed us down for 15 minutes, put gaps in between us, and then let us go about our way. The state troopers were amazing. They were nice. They talked to us about the cars. They even actually said they saw videos. So they knew what we were doing. They understood and liked the cause. So it was an amazing experience. Best experience I've ever had on the expressway with a state trooper, but that's a whole nother story. So once we were let loose after that, we went on our way. We made it to Louisville, where we got to check into our hotel room and get ready for the rooftop pool party. Of course, the weather wasn't as forgiving as we were hoping, so it was slightly cool. So only a few people actually got into the pool and the hot tub, but overall, the dinner on the rooftop and the congregating around the fireplace is what took place, and it all made for an amazing day. So this is the experience I had on day one with Crown Rally. I'm telling you now, if you haven't thought about doing this before, or you've never had the opportunity, look into it. It's a great cause. We have fun, and I would definitely do it again. So I'm gonna wrap this up by saying I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the highlights of day one. I got more coming my way because this trip was 5 days long and we had a different adventure every day. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We have interesting topics. We like to get out and have fun. As you see, we do a couple rallies throughout the year. But as I always say, stay tuned for the next video. Until then, stay blessed, stay safe, and I will see you in these streets. Peace.